Hello everyone, welcome to Tempest recording. We will discuss Act 5 Scene 1 today. Act 5 Scene 1. Prospero decides to forgive his enemies if they are repentant. That means if they feel sorry for what they have done. He reminds Alonso of the cruel manner in which the latter treated him and Miranda. He accuses Sebastian of his share in the intrigue, in the conspiracy. He calls Antonio an unnatural brother who, for the sake of his ambition, gave away natural affection from his heart. He pays a tribute to Gonzalo for his sympathetic nature. He then reveals his true identity. Prospero now also relents towards Caliban. Relents expresses his anger. Stefano and Tringillo. It is decided that all should sail for Naples the next morning, from where, after attending the marriage of Ferdinand and Miranda, Prospero proposes to go to his native Milan, the dukedom of which now has been restored to him. Scene 1. Where does the scene take place? Before Prospero's cell. Enter Prospero in his magic robes and Ariel. Prospero. Now does my project, task, undertaking, plan, gather to a head. Gather, approaches, reaches, head, climax. So my plan is reaching its climax. My charms crack not, that is, have not failed. My charms have not failed. My spirits obey. My spirits have been obedient. And time goes upright. Time is favoring me. Time goes upright with his carriage. That is, time is moving steadily. The carriage of the time, of goddess time, is being drawn steadily. It is an expression which means that time is favoring me. How is the day? What is the time of the day? Ariel says, on the 6th hour, it is 6 o'clock. At which time, my lord, you said our work would cease. You said that our work would end, stop, cease, end at 6 o'clock. Prospero says, I did say so when I first raised the tempest. Act 1 Scene 1. Act 1 Scene 2, I'm sorry. So I remember I said so when I first raised the tempest. Say, my spirit, how fares the king and his followers? Fare matlab do. How are they doing? How is the king and how is the king's follower? So tell me about their condition. Ariel says, confined together. They are all imprisoned. Remember, they are not imprisoned in any place. They are imprisoned in their own distractions. In the same fashion as you gave in charge. Gave in charge matlab as you ordered me. So just as you have ordered me, I have imprisoned them in their own confusions, in their own distractions. Just as you left them. So just the last you saw, we remember Prospero was invisible. The banquet scene, Prospero watched the scene invisible. So just as you left them, they are in the same distracted state. They are all prisoners, sir. Again, prisoners of their own distractions. In the lime garden, which weather fends your cell, which is a boundary to your cell, which surrounds your cell, and fends means defends or protects. Weather, which protects your cell from stormy weather. So the lime trees have grown all around Prospero's cell to protect storm from entering the cell, destroying the cell. They cannot budge till you release. They cannot move till you release your charms, till you dissolve your charms. The king, his brother, his brother Antonio, the king Alonso, his brother Sebastian, and your brother Antonio, they abide matlab stay. They stay all three distracted. And the remainder mourning over them. So Alonso, Sebastian and Antonio are in a distracted state, and others like Gonzalo, Francisco, Adrian and others, they are mourning over them. They are expressing sorrow at their desperate state, at their desperate situation. And him that you termed, sir, the good old Gonzalo, particularly the man whom you call the good man Gonzalo, he particularly termed, that is whom you expressed, whom you named as the good old Lord Gonzalo, his tears run down his beards like winter drops fall from eaves of reed. Eaves of reed, that is thatched roofs. THATCHED, thatched roofs. जो पत्ते का, बिचाली का जिसका रूफ बना रहता है, उसके एंड में रात को फ्रॉस्ट, बर्फ जम जाता है और सुबह जब सूरज उगता है तो वो बर्फ पिघल के बूंद बूंद टपकता है. तो जिस तरह से just as winter's drops, just as frost melts and drops, water drops from the eaves of reeds, from the eaves are roof of thatched roof, it's a thatched roof. So just as winter drops fall from the eaves of reed, you can pick up this expression and quote it as it is given, tears run down his beard. So similarly, tears dripped from his beards. This shows how emotional Gonzalo has become and how sympathetic he is. He is shedding tears. Why is Gonzalo shedding tears? Gonzalo is shedding tears at the sad state of Alonso, at the desperate state of Alonso. Your charm so strongly works them. Your charm is working on them very strongly, that if you beheld them now, so your charm has worked on them so strongly that if you saw them, if you noticed them now, your affections would become tender. You would become soft in your stern attitude would give way, and you would become softer in your behavior towards them, in your attitude towards them. So your affections would become mild, your emotions would melt, your emotions would become mild. They are in such a desperate state. Now Prospero is surprised. Do you think so, spirit? Why does Prospero ask, do you think so? Because Ariel is a spirit and spirits don't have feelings, emotions. So Prospero asks, do you think so, spirit? Being a spirit, you can feel the emotions. Ariel says, mine would, sir, if I were human. Definitely. That is my emotions would become tender if I were human. Prospero says, and mine shall definitely. Now, if you are a spirit and if you can feel the touch of emotion, then why would I not? I am just as a human as they are. Hast you, which art but air? So, if you, who are nothing but air, that is, you have an insubstantial existence. You have an insubstantial existence. You do not have any physical existence. You seem to exist, but you do not exist. So you just have an insubstantial existence. Now you are but air, and when you can feel a touch, a feeling of their afflictions, of their pain, of their sorrow, then being in still, though you are a spirit, you are insubstantial, and you can feel their sorrow, then why shall not myself? So if you can feel it, I can definitely. Why? Because you are just air, while I am a human being like them, one of their kind. I am just another human being like they are. That relish means feel all as sharply matlab keenly. So I feel as keenly as they can feel, passion as they are. So I can feel passion as keenly as the emotions, as keenly as they feel. Be kindlier moved than you are. So why would I not be kindlier moved into acts of kindness, into that is softening my sternness, than you who can feel the emotions despite being a spirit. Though with their high wrongs, that is intense sin, severe sin. So though with their high wrongs means great wrongs or intense sin committed by them, I am struck means provoked to the quick matlab provoked. I have been provoked to take stern action. So though I am struck to the quick, that is, though I have been provoked into taking stern action because of their intense sin, yet with my nobler reason against my fury, anger, nobler reason, wisdom, kindness. So though I have been provoked into taking stern action against them, revenge is not my motive. My motive is repentance, that they should feel repentance. Therefore, I will make more use of kindness, more use of mercy than anger. So anger here is revenge, and so I expect them to feel repentance, and then I will release all my charms. So I will take more use of my nobler reason, that is kindness. Mercy, do I take part? I am making use. The rarer action is, rarer that is better action, more commendable action is in virtue of forgiveness. Forgiveness is a better action than vengeance, revenge. Forgiveness is always a better action than revenge. They being penitent means repentant. When once they are repentant, the sole drift of my purpose, that is the only intention of my, that is my only motive. So that is the only intention, that is my only motive. So what is my only motive? That they should feel repentant. Doth extend, does not extend a frown further. A frown matlab slightest anger, slightest harm. So I do not want to show slightest anger once they feel repentant. Go release them, Ariel, from the charms. Release them from their distractions, Ariel. My charms I will break, I will dissolve my charm. Their senses I will restore. So once I dissolve the charm, their senses will be restored and they shall be themselves. They shall become themselves, that is, they shall restore their normal senses. Ariel says, I will fetch them, sir. I will bring them here, sir. Exit. Now Prospero thanks all the spirits, all the demigods who have helped him. He says, the elves are spirits dwelling in the hills, you have helped me. Spirits dwelling in the brooks, you have helped me. Brook is stream. Spirits dwelling in the standing lakes, in the stagnant lakes, you have helped me in my purpose. And groves, O spirits of the orchards, you have helped me. So he thanks all these spirits, all the demigods which exist in hills and brooks and standing lakes and groves. All of the spirits have helped him. Ariel and all the subordinate spirits and all the subordinate spirits of nature, they have all helped him. And you spirits that on the sands with printless foot do chase the ebbing Neptune. तो यहाँ पे ध्यान रखना कि वो किसको थैंक कर रहा है. Number 1 hills, number 2 brooks, spirits of the brooks, number 3 spirits of the standing lakes, number 4 spirits of the orchards, number 5 spirits of the seashore, spirits that dwell on the seashore. Now what do the spirits that dwell on the seashore do? They chase the waves when the waves are withdrawing, and when the waves retreat, they escape from the retreating waves. So throughout the day what they are doing, they are chasing the wave and then they are running away from them once the waves return. Okay, so in this way throughout the day they are engaged in this chase. And so these are the spirits who cause the ebb and the tide. Okay, ebb matlab jab wave withdraw karta hai, tide matlab jab waves aata hai. You on the sands with printless foot, you do not leave your footmarks. Do chase the ebbing Neptune. So you chase Neptune, that is the sea god, यहाँ पे sea waves, and do fly him मतलब escape from the waves when they return from the tide, when he comes back, when Neptune comes back. But यहाँ पे क्या, when the sea waves they approach the shore, they escape, and when the sea waves ebb, they chase the sea waves. You demi puppets, तो ये कितना था, ये नोट कर लो कहीं पे प्लीज. You elves of hills, number 1 hills, number 2 lakes, number 3 brooks, number 4 groves. तो 4 यहाँ पे था. 5वां हुआ spirits of the sand. And sixth spirit को वो थैंक कर रहा है. कौन सा है sixth spirit? Demi puppets मतलब small creatures, demigods that by moonshine. ये जो स्मॉल स्पिरिट्स अब जिसको थैंक कर रहा है, ये लोग मूनशाइन में एक्टिव होते हैं. डू द सावर रिंगलेट्स मेक ऑन द ग्रीन ग्रास. नाउ हम कभी तुम ग्रास प्लग करोगे तो कई ग्रास जो होता है वो कंप्लीटली ग्रीन रहता है, बट कई ग्रास में देखोगे छोटा छोटा दाना होता है, वो येलोइश रंग का रिंग्स होता है, दाना होता है छोटा छोटा. तो वो रिंगलेट्स, सावर रिंगलेट्स, जिन पे वो दाना हो जाता है, वो ग्रास जो है वो सावर हो जाता है, वो कड़वा हो जाता है. और इस कड़वे घास को कोई शीप, कोई गोट, कोई नहीं खाता. ठीक है. सो वेयर ऑफ विच यूज बाइट नॉट. यू आर फीमेल शीप, दे डू नॉट बाइट. तो अब ये कौन से स्पिरिट को थैंक कर रहा है? 4 पहले था और सीशोर वाला 5वां और ये 6ठा है, 6th है. तो 6th कौन है? स्पिरिट्स who make ringlets on the grass when the moon shines or by the moonshine. So spirits who make ringlets on the grass. Now they make ringlets, and as a result the grass becomes sour, and the ewes do not chew those grass, ewes do not bite those grass. And you whose pastime is to make midnight mushrooms. So remember 4 plus 2 6, and here it is 7. Next spirit वो किसको थैंक कर रहा है? Spirits who make midnight mushrooms. कुछ spirits हैं जो midnight के समय क्या करते हैं? Mushrooms बनाते हैं. So he thanks the spirit who make midnight mushrooms, and spirits who make midnight mushrooms, I'll note it down. So spirits who make midnight mushrooms, they rejoice, they feel happy to hear the solemn curfew. Solemn curfew, that is evening church bell. So when they hear the evening bell, they are happy. Why are they happy? Because evening, it is an invitation for them to begin their work. So spirits who make midnight mushrooms and spirit who make sour ringlets in the grass. So if we summarize it, first, spirits of the hills, spirits of the brooks, spirits of the lakes, spirits of the groves, groves means orchards, spirits of the sand. So we have 1 hills, number 2 brooks, number 3 lakes, number 4 groves, number 5 sand, number 6 spirits who make sour ringlets. When do they make sour ringlets? Ringlets by moonshine. When the moon shines, they make sour ringlets. And number 7, spirits who make midnight mushrooms. So he thanks all these spirits is to make midnight mushrooms. So spirits who make midnight mushrooms, that rejoice. So they rejoice, they feel happy when they hear the solemn curfew evening bell. Why? Because it is the time for them to become active and to work. By whose aid? With your help. By whose aid? So with your help. So that is why I asked you to note it down. So whose help अगर पूछेगा? By the help of spirits of the hills, brooks, lakes, groves, sand, spirits who make sour ringlets by moonshine, and spirits who make midnight mushrooms. So these are some spirits he names, but there are other spirits as well. So he names these spirits and says that, so because of you, weak masters though you are, ये भी मतलब you are. So though you are weak masters, that is individually you are weak, but collectively gathering all of you. Though you are weak individually, but all of you, gathering you, what have I done? Number 1, I have bedimmed the noontide sun. Right, bedimmed, that is overshadowed the noontide sun. The sun is most intense at noon. So what have I done? I have bedimmed, I have covered the sun with the clouds. So I have bedimmed, I have made dim, I have darkened, I have made dim the noontide sun. Number 1. Number 2, I have called forth, that is incited, provoked, mutinous winds. Mutinous means revolting, storms. So I have aroused storms, mutinous, that is violent storms. Number 2. And between the sea and the sky, sea, stormy waves, high rising waves, sky, thunder and lightning. इसके पहले भी रेफरेंस था, स्काई का गॉड कौन है? जुपिटर, और सी का गॉड कौन है? नेपच्यून. सो हम नेपच्यून और जुपिटर के बीच में एक वॉर स्टार्ट कर दिए, वॉर रेज कर दिए, वॉर रेज कर दिए. सो बिटवीन द सी एंड द अज्योर्ड वर्ल्ड मतलब ब्लू स्काई, and green sea, deep sea is referred to as green. So between the sea and the sky, I have set a roaring war. So what have I done? I have set a roaring war between the sea and the sky. I have set a roaring war. So to the dreadful rattling thunder have I given fire. So I have given fire to thunder. Matlab I have aroused thunder and lightning. So number 4, thunder and lightning I have aroused. Okay. And rifted Job's stout oak. Number 5, I have rifted, that is split, made the lightning fall on the oak tree and split it. So I made the lightning fall on the oak tree and I split the oak tree. Now, ironically, lightning is the weapon of Jupiter and oak is the holy tree of Jupiter. So with the help of the weapon of Jupiter, I have split the holy tree of Jupiter. So, rifted Jove, stout oak, strong oak, with his own bolt, with his own thunderbolt. So therefore, with his own thunderbolt. The strong-based promontory. Promontory is a land projecting into the sea. So देखोगे सी बीच में कई बार रॉकी लैंड होता है जो थोड़ा सा सी के अंदर गया हुआ रहता है, उसको प्रोमोन्ट्री बोलते हैं, ठीक है ना. स्ट्रॉन्ग बेस्ड प्रोमोन्ट्री क्या होता है, बहुत स्ट्रॉन्ग होता है, बहुत फर्म होता है. बट हम क्या किए, आई हैव शुक द प्रोमोन्ट्री, आई हैव शुक द प्रोमोन्ट्री विद माई मैजिक and definitely with your help. Number 6, and by the spurs matlab roots, I have by the roots plucked the pine and the cedar. So I have uprooted the pine and the cedar. These are strong trees, they have deep roots, but I have uprooted them. So I have uprooted the pine and the cedar, and graves at my command, graves at my orders, they have opened and waked their sleepers. The dead have emerged out of the grave and led them forth. They have come out. Graves, from the graves, the dead have come out by my so powerful art. So, whose help had he sought? Who were the weak ministers? Spirits of the hills, brooks, lakes, groves, sand, sour, spirits who make sour inlets by moonshine, and spirits who make midnight mushrooms. So these are the weak spirits with whose help he had created potent charms. Potent matlab powerful charms. What powerful charms had he created? Number 1, he had bedimmed the noontide sun. Number 2, he had aroused multitudinous waves. Number 3, he had set a roaring war between the sea and the sky. Number 4, he had given lightning to thunder. Number 5, he had rifted the oak tree. He had split the oak tree. Number 6, he had shook the strong-based promontory. Number 7, he had uprooted the pine and the cedar trees. And number 8, he had opened the graves and the ghosts, the dead have come out of the graves. So he has done all these potent charms with the help of these subordinates, ministers of these weak spirits. And by the spurs I have plucked up the pine and cedar, graves at my command have waked their sleepers, opened and led them forth by my so potent art. But this rough magic I will here abjure, I give up my magic now. Why do I give up my magic now? Because I do not want to seek revenge. I want to seek repentance from the sinners. And when I have required some heavenly music, so now I do not want such potential power. What do I want now? I want charming music. I want heavenly music. Now, O spirits of the hills, brooks, lakes and groves and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, please give me some charming music. What I want now is I want some charming music. Please give me charming music, which even now I do. Now I want some charming music to work my end upon their senses. To work my end matlab to help me procure my purpose. To work my end, that is to make them realize, to make them feel repentant. So to let them know my intention, to let them know my purpose upon their senses. So I want them to redeem their senses. So why does he want music? Because music will redeem their purpose, their senses. Music will help them to redeem their purpose, redeem their senses. And that this airy charm is for. So that is why I had created this airy charm. Why had I created this airy charm? To make them feel repentant. So now I want music to restore their senses and feel repentant. So I want music to make them restore their senses and feel repentant. I will break my staff, I will break my magic wand and bury it certain fathoms. Fathom is the measurement of depth. I will bury it deep into the earth. And deeper than plummet sound. Plummet is an instrument used to measure the depth of the ocean. So deeper than plummet can measure, I will drown my books. So he here intends to give up his magic. Solemn music and re-enter Ariel after him. So we will continue in the next recording. Thank you so much for your patience.